Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to IDRA. Today we're going to be showing you a video about our latest and greatest innovations and developments. I'm sorry that we don't have the possibility to meet in person, but during this period, obviously we have to make exceptions and try to do the very best that we can. The video that you're about to see is an explanation of our latest technologies, including the GigaPress and the 5S injection, but also a new hybrid casting system called LPF. The low-pressure forging system is utilizing the best of low-pressure and of high-pressure technology and bringing them together to create a part that is forged and giving us a semi-solid casting technology. After the introduction, this will be followed by a tour of the factory. Fiorenzo Dioni, who is the technical manager, and myself will take you through the factory and show you all of the innovations that we have. So now, let's start the video, and we'll take you through all of the technologies, and afterwards I'll come back to you and we can close the session. So for now, enjoy the video and I'll see you after. My warmest welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the open house at our IDRA plant here in Italy. I hope all of you are safe and well in this difficult situation, and I wish that we could meet you all in person, walking together in our shop floor and showing you our innovations. By website, it's not the same, but I hope that you appreciate our efforts and have a good understanding of our new products. Let me introduce our General Manager, Riccardo Ferrario, and I am John Stokes, responsible for our R&D and Technical Center, and later on we'll meet Fiorenzo Dioni, who's our Chief Designer and Engineering Manager. Riccardo, would you like to introduce it to us?
Yeah, we will bring you into the new era of high-pressure die casting industry. Proudly, our GigaPress is for sure the start of the show. But we will also talk about our new premium product line called Neo and our patented LPF, low-pressure forging system.
In order to be as effective as possible today, we're going to have 45 minutes of presentations and then later a tour on our shop floor, showing you our innovations and the result of 3 years R&D, tryouts and hot testing of the engineering with our customers. After that, we'll open 30 minutes of Q&A. However, we can answer your questions or any questions that you choose to send us in writing after the webinar is closed. But let's begin, Riccardo. Can you explain to us how it is we arrived at the GigaPress?
Well, let me start from 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we reached 100 million euro turnover. A fantastic result for us. This was mainly due to our OLCS product line, which was highly appreciated by the market because it was specifically designed for light alloy structural parts and heavy-duty engine components, and was available in a time of increasing usage of aluminum for car lightening process. We grew up damn fast, from 20 to 100 million euro turnover in 5 years. However, we believed that another step forward had to be made when in 2017. In fact, we deeply analyzed our product technology and found the potential for good improvements. It was the time to challenge ourselves again, also because the aluminum casting product development trend showed another step towards more sophisticated application of aluminum. It was the full electric car which was strongly pushing for that. We were, let's say, visionaries at the time. We got to the conclusion that the industry will need three things. One, gigapresses for super large amalgamated cast part, but also best-in-class automated production cell with high process stability and efficiency, and sustainable and eco-driven. In other words, we would need a new product line, what we call a premium press. And Fiorenzo stepped up to the challenge and therefore designed the Neo, our premium product line, which is superior in all technical KPIs compared to that which is offered by our competitors. And why not? Strive to differentiate your production by utilizing a new foundry process, our patented LPF, a low-pressure forging process. This technology combines the best of high-pressure die casting, which is the short cycle time, with low-pressure laminar flow feeding of the die, with the aluminum forging process, pressurizing the die cavity when the metal is still semi-solid. This will allow the foundry to make parts with mechanical and metallurgical properties close to that's achievable with the forging process, but with lower production. Now, all of this is available for you today from Hydra. John and Fiorenzo will bring you up to the new products describing the technical key factors for each of them. However, first I would like to justify my salary and spend a few words on GigaPress and the unique advantages that GigaPress can ensure to our customer. You are going to see GigaPress number 3 in our shop floor, running full in automatic cycle. For your information, 2 GigaPresses have been already shipped and installed at our customer plants, running production batches of the largest casting part ever made worldwide. And now we have an additional 9 GigaPresses to be delivered during 2021, and we hope that more orders might come soon. A day, the 20th of August. This is the day that I will never forget. The day in which the first batch of good parts have been made, eliminating any skepticism in the mind of the international aluminum foundry community. We decided to have GigaPress in our product portfolio 3 years ago when nobody thought that it was necessary to have such monster die casting machine. At that time, the largest already designed structural part could be produced using a 4,000 ton. But our thinking was that sooner or later you would have needed a 6,000 ton. In fact, at that time, aluminum structural parts started being considered a sort of commodity, and the shock tower is really a very good example of it. It is difficult to make profit on such a commodity part. But if you have a 6,000 ton, then you could utilize multi-cavity die for part cost reduction purpose, or the realization of one larger part resulting from the combination of 2 different components. Then battery cases came to the market with full electric cars and hybrid vehicles. And for sure, bigger battery cases are coming soon, even with the increased output from batteries forecast for the next couple of years. Our vision was confirmed 2 years later, when we got the first order for GigaPresses. GigaPresses can dramatically change the way the underbody structure of cars and trucks can be made. This new machine offers revolutionary advantages. The lower underbody of the car can now be made in 3 only modules: one front casting, the battery case in the middle, and one back casting with several other advantages. Let's talk about the investment reduction in foundry shop. If you do not have a GigaPress and utilize the 4,000-ton model, you need 4 die casting machines, each one dedicated to the production of front right and front left, back right and back left. Instead, you can run the same volume by using 2 GigaPresses. And of course, the cost of 2 GigaPresses is lower than the cost of 4,000 die casting machine. Not only that, imagine also the finishing and the assembly line, the implication of having only very few parts. The total investments for the assembling line can also be dramatically reduced. Less assembly stations, less fixtures, but also less robots, less quality checks. Well, I can even imagine that the length of the entire line can be reduced by a good 20% with another huge capex saving. What I like the most is to talk about quality and part cost saving. Compare the one casting solution to the multiple part one. Look at the part design. On one side, you can see the old way to make the back. Many parts of different materials assembled together, which is compared against the one single casting. This means to have only one code number to be kept under control, saving hundreds of quality checks, simplifying the logistic and the material handling, which turns to be another fantastic cost-saving advantage. As a foundry man, I like to say that by pouring one single piece, you get very accurate and repeatable geometry and better mechanical properties, such as more stiffness than the multi-part solutions, which is a dream come to reality for the OEM engineers. Lastly, but maybe more important, sustainability. Hey, I want to spend some words on that. The total energy consumption of the full underbody manufacturing process can be estimated in a good 20% less than the traditional one, which means less CO2 in the air. In fact, many process phases have been totally eliminated. Then, the yield itself of a 6,000 ton is higher than a 4,000 ton, and this is another saving in energy consumption. And at the end, what I like the most, again, as a foundry man, is that there is a huge saving and ecologic advantage if you consider the gross net weight ratio of the single piece, which is much lower than the right and left standalone casting solution. We have to pour more than 100 kilos of aluminum to achieve approximately 80 kilos net weight of the single part. The foundry shop has to remain only 20% of a single alloy rather than 20% from each individual part. And this is a dramatic improvement for the melting shop department. It is fantastic, isn't it? GigaPress may completely change the underbody manufacturing process, reducing its cost and improving its quality, and give more competitiveness to the OEMs which will use GigaPresses. We have proved to the world that it works. Now, providing that the GigaPress is utilized to achieve best in performance, together we can change the world. And here my introduction ends, and I will hand over to Fiorenzo and John, who will bring you up to date on one of the latest development for both the GigaPress and our latest production line, Neo. Many thanks for your attention, and I do hope that you enjoy our presentation today.
ladies and gentlemen, here we are on the Idra shop floor. We're standing next to the GigaPress number 3, which is part of the new Idra Neo line. This is our premium line of presses, and we'd like to today introduce you to some of the main features. Fiore, why don't we start with understanding a little bit about the size and the weight of the machine?
Yeah, the dimension is impressive, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yeah.
It's 19.7 meter long, 7.4 meter wide, and 6 meter high. It is like a house that weighs 430 tons, okay? The heaviest part is the fixed plate that is just a little bit heavier than the other two parts, the other platens. But nevertheless, it's agile like a sprinter. The cycle time is remarkably shorter than a 4,000 ton anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, but the size of the machine is just a small part of this project because the design includes many functions that makes this machine the best one available in the market today.
Thanks, Fiore. So let's talk a little bit about some of the main features on the machine. We've made a huge effort, a giga effort, to launch the Neo line. So let's start by maybe talking about the guarding system.
It is a total new guarding system, okay, that we made in order to contain the fumes of the lubrication phase and so on. And you can imagine to apply on the top, okay, a KMA fume extraction and scrubbing system, okay? And that way you can imagine it avoid totally the pipe work that goes out of the roof, okay? Yes. And the possible interfering with the crane that usually move to install, to assemble the dies and so on.
So, talking about the guarding system some more, I know that the cycle time on this machine is very quick. You mentioned before that it was agile like a sprinter. And having the doors running with the DC drive system means that with the servo motor and the encoder included, we can have much faster cycle times on the door and the movements of the guard system for opening and closing. Now, because of the new guarding system, I know that we've been able to remove most of the toggle guarding inside the guarding system. This means that the operator can get very easily to carry out maintenance work and to do the necessary operations in the normal cycle of daily life in the foundry. We've also been able to remove the rear guarding from the gear system at the rear of the machine, which is responsible for the die height and for changing the distance for the different dies that we mount onto the machine. From the point of view of safety, and Idra takes safety as our first priority, we have inside the guarding 2 light beams, where most of our competition only have 1. We have a vertical light beam, which you can see at the front of the doors, and this is protecting the operator as the door is opening and closing. Then inside, we actually have a horizontal light beam, and this horizontal light beam will act as man safety to ensure that there's no possible accidental closure of the guard or the machine whilst an operator is working inside that area. Safety for Idra always comes first, and we have the horizontal bar on the inside to protect against any accidents with the operator from the movement of the guard or the closure of the machine.
Yes, but this is just the start, because we include many other things that make the machine faster, smoother, and reliable than all the machine made before.
Okay.
Now let's move to the heart of our Neo series machine, that is the new patented injection 5S.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are now. We've moved to another part of the factory here in Idra, and we're standing in front of the new injection system from Idra, which is called the S5S injection system. This injection system is a revolutionary new system that employs a regenerative hydraulic circuit and is notable physically in its difference for the cushion compensation cylinder above the injection, and also the fact that we're missing the unloading part, the exhaust tube from the cylinder. So Fiore, do you want to tell us a bit more detail about this?
Yeah, I'm proud about my new baby. The 5S is the state of the art at the heart of die casting process. One of the most important, let's say, performance, it is the increasing dynamic force in order to ensuring to fill also the big dies. In fact, the new dies arrive also at 2 meters wide or 2 meters square, okay, and the injection we must be sure in order to fill with constant high flow velocity on the molten metal.
Fiore, do you want to give us a bit more of a detailed explanation about the 5S injection?
Yes, the counter cylinder that you mentioned before is a cushion, okay, that manage the flow that you have in the rod area of the main injection piston, okay. These make a constant pressure in the rod area, so from the beginning to the end. And this is fundamental to have from the smooth movement of the injection from the very beginning to the end of the stroke. And more, with this constant movement, you have no jump at all, okay? And this increases the quality of the casting. And more, there is the fluid not streaming to the tank, okay, during the high speed phase, okay? And so this avoids totally to emulsify the water glycol into the tank. Okay, you see there is no more quick exhaust manifold. So the servo valve control the velocity is no longer placed, okay? And so it means that you avoid totally what is related to the turbulence inside the tank. And not just the turbulence, but also the different, the delta P, the different pressure between the inlet and outlet.
Ah, yeah.
Okay. And this avoid possible erosion and save the servo valve that manage the meter in and the injection cylinder itself.
If the servo valve isn't there, where is the servo valve now?
Is on the second phase to move forward the piston, just that. And so, in this way, you can imagine the maintenance is easier because in that area there is just one valve, one small valve, but all the rest is free. In the area that it's usually is full of dirt, okay, and you have no more to climb on the tank to make maintenance and so on. And in the backside, it's totally free and available to be managed, speaking about the maintenance. So the 5S concept is a regenerative system for both first phase and second phase. And this allowing us to reduce the time to recharge the accumulator. So the 5S is a concept with a regenerative system for the first and second phase of injection, okay? And this allowing us to reduce the time we need to recharge the second phase accumulator. So the injection is equipped with an independent servo motor pump to recharge the accumulator. And this is also for sustainability. And we recognize the customer is looking to reduce its carbon footprint. And this gives us a very stable injection during all the phases of it. Anyway, I have to highlight that this group is a DCP, drive control pump system, okay, developed by Hydra, okay, and on the Neo series, it will be installed also for the main manifold, so the main group that give flow and pressure, okay? And we have to highlight that with this system, we have the same efficiency and the same performance than a standard machine, okay? But with smaller motor and reduce the kilowatt. And this is possible because of the new master slave, the new PLC program, the independent recharge of the core enclosing accumulator, and this combination of factor give us, with this injection, okay, to save 54% of the energy, the medium value for our new Neo series.
Here we are in front of the moving platen of the GigaPress. Fiore, do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, this is the moving platen. Is casted in one piece, of course. Okay, it is more than 3.6 meters squared. Okay, and the weight is around 64 tons.
Wow.
Anyway, the size of the machine and the platens is just a small part of our new product, because we made and developed many things, okay, in the design, many functions that makes this machine the best available in the market today.
So until now, we've spoken about the GigaPress and the 5S injection. What I'd like to do now is to take you to another part of the factory where we have a new special machine called the LPF, low pressure forging machine. Let's move over there now. Here we are in front of the LPF machine. This is a 2,000-ton press that Hydra has developed in conjunction with our partner in the FSA, Costamp. Now, this new machine, the LPF, is actually standing for low pressure forging. Fiore, do you want to explain to us what low pressure forging means?
Well, the machine is similar than a low pressure because you can see a vertical closing, okay, and the vein where is installed a furnace underneath the fixed platen. Yeah. But the big difference are the cycle time and the pressure on the alloy, which is similar to a high pressure die casting. So you have to imagine that there is a dosing furnace under the machine. When the vertical hydraulic press has closed the die, the liquid metal is smoothly moved into the mold cavity at the pressure between 0.5 and 1 bar with no turbulence. Then we mechanically plug the feeder tube with an hydraulic plunger so that we can immediately depressurize the furnace, saving a lot of cycle time compared to a low pressure technology. We do not need to weigh the solidification of the metal into the feeder. So finally, we can apply very high pressure that can reach up to 1200 bar. When the alloy is inside the cavity, it's still semi-solid, a sort of forging. So in this way, the final solidification takes place with high pressure, minimizing metal porosity, and at the same time increasing heat transfer in the die. So in this way, shortening cycle time to similar standards is normally found, as you know, in high pressure die casting. So our standard core business. There are anyway other important aspects to be considered. such as vacuum, mold cooling, surface lube spatial system. And all have been developed thanks to our Foundry Star Alliance partners.
Well, thanks a lot, Fiore, for that explanation. It was really interesting. I'd like to just add one more thing, if I may, about the LPF. This is not the first machine that we've produced. We also have a 600-ton machine that we've been running in tests at CoStamp. And our intention is to take this 2,000-ton machine over to the CoStamp building, and we will continue to cast and make some tests, including wheel casting for high-performance vehicles and high-quality castings. Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. If you have any questions, we're here to try and answer them the best way we can. But please remember that the IDRA website is open, and there you can find a lot of information regarding the technical data for both the 5S injection and the Neo line of die casting machines. Our address for the website is www.idragroup.com. And hopefully you'll find everything there that you need. If you don't find what you need there, we'd be happy to answer your questions from below. So please, we hope that you stay safe. We hope that this has been informative for you, and we very much look forward to seeing you. If you do need to have additional information, of course, we are always available to meet with you directly, and we can also arrange a video conference very easily. So please, have a safe time, and we'll meet you shortly. Thank you very much. Goodbye.